Let's do it.
Hi there, I'm Ricky from Moshville Towns here. Once again, I'm delighted to welcome Birmingham-based progressive metal band Netherhall. Today we've got Tom, the bassist, we've got Lewis, the guitarist, and we've got Jake, the drums. So how are you guys doing since lockdown? It's a bit of a crazy world at the moment, but have you been able to get together and rehearse and whatnot?
It really is a crazy world at the moment, isn't it? It's sad to see the effects of it on everybody, but luckily we've been in the fortunate position where we have been able really to carry on.
Yeah.
When lockdown first came, we were able to just crack on with writing new material.
Yeah.
And which was really, really good for us, wasn't it? Really, it just obviously there was a 6-week period where we just couldn't, and it was just impossible to. But after that, we were sailing, really. Yeah.
So was it like when you were first together again? Was it like, who are you again? What instrument do you play?
Yeah.
It didn't sound very good on the first few runs.
Oh, it didn't.
Coming back to it, it was like, was I playing bass before?
So what about your jobs and things like that? Have you been okay, like on the work front as well? Or?
Yeah, well, you guys were furloughed, I think.
No, I went. I was cracking on straight through. Yeah, working from home.
I was off for 6 weeks. I work in a tree surgery company, so we were off for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But then, because as the restrictions started to lessen, because we work outdoors, we were absolutely fine. So I was so grateful for. I was climbing the walls throughout lockdown. So yeah,
me and Jake were just kind of working through it. Like I work in music retail, so we were doing a lot of like dispatching and delivery stuff. So that was all go. And the shops closed, but the warehouses didn't.
That's good to hear that you guys are running okay. That's brilliant. So obviously one of the reasons for interviewing you today is that Netherhall released their latest single, Distant, in February of this year. So how did it feel to get the new song out there for everybody to hear?
It was great to finally get it out.
It was great to get it out, and it was just at the nick of time as well, really, considering what happened. Just a couple of months later.
Was the song written pretty quickly, or is this a song that's maybe like 6 months old or something? Or
it's the song goes back a few years now. We've had that one in. Yeah. I mean, a lot of our stuff is like that. A lot of it's taken a long time to craft what we have. Distant. We kind of had an opportunity to record it, didn't we, for a little bit. I think Owen from Loud Noises Production, he had an opportunity to be able to record in a university, the drums, and he offered us to do it as a tryout. So we were just like,
I just jumped straight on. He goes, "Can you do it?" Like, yep.
Let's do it. So we just pulled Distant out of the sack and decided to record that one.
That's excellent, thanks. So, but am I also hearing a wee rumour that you're going to be recording for an album?
We are indeed.
What are you going to tell me about it? What are you going to tell me about it? Are you sworn to secrecy?
Wow. I mean, in a way, this is where lockdown really kind of helped. You have to turn a bad situation into a good situation sometimes. We were able to enhance the album, and not only that, but finished all of the writing for it throughout that time. So. I mean, and it kind of ties back into what we just said. There's some songs on the album that are
3 years old.
3 years old, and then from 3 years up until literally present day, it's taken a while to write this one. This has.
Yeah.
And it took even longer because we were supposed to record this album. Was it during lockdown? Was it
July, just when they lifted the restrictions.
They just lifted the restrictions, and me and Tom have been trying to kill time in between, lockdown rather than going crazy. So we went on a few bike rides, and it was probably about a week. What was it? A couple of weeks. About a month before. Yeah. Me being an idiot, me and Tom were out on the bike ride. We've got this album to record in a month, and I fell off my bike and I cracked both of my elbows. Literally cracked them, and we had to and I was stuck like a T-Rex, and I couldn't move my arms for 3 solid weeks. So I was like, guys, I could barely wipe my ass, let alone do an album. So we were gutted at the time that we had to postpone the album there because a lot of preparation has gone into it. But in actual fact, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Because the album, what it's going to sound like now, we've been able to do a lot more work to it, and thank goodness we've had that time because it's going to sound a millionfold better than what it would have if we'd have done it originally.
It was a bit of a blessing.
Yeah, it's
on at your expense.
I'll take it.
Well, that's certainly good to hear. But did you not think about just it's excuse after excuse and kick him out of the band and get somebody else in to do it?
No.
We love him too much.
We love him too much for that.
I was scared because I was there. Like I could literally, when I say I was looked like a T-Rex, it's no exaggeration. I was contemplating my life was flashing before my eyes. I was like, no, I'm not going to be able to do the drums in the band anymore. But no, we're all cool. I can still reach for beers and I can still do the YMCA, so we're all good to go.
We're all glad you recovered and you're all okay. That's brilliant. So for those that are new to the band then, how would you say the new songs compared to that of your debut EP Immaculate? And do you think that you found the sound that you've been looking for with the next release?
I think we really have. Like it's been a long time since the EP and a lot's changed, and I mean even just growing up a little bit has changed the songs and the music. Like it's why some of the songs are maybe like 3 years old, because we kept scrapping them at like 4 years old and 5 years old. Because we just kept every song we kept doing, it was like, oh well, this is a bit closer to what we actually want to be doing. Yeah. So we kept scrapping the old stuff.
We did have a real habit of that, didn't we? Scrapping it. But, I mean, in terms of how the album will compare to the first EP that we've done, there's the Grand Canyon apart. It's a lot more mature. It's a lot more together, and a little bit more. I'd say a little bit more progressive than the EP was. You know, but that comes just as you said, Tom. That just comes down to us being older and more mature people.
Yeah, like, there's definitely more of a grand idea with this album than for the EP. I think the EP was like, here are our best songs.
Yeah.
Here's the EP. Well, this has really been like a grand. I don't know what to describe it as.
It's been a process, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a process.
Yeah.
Hint.
Are you sure mature's the right word in relation to you three?
Well, no, tell me about it.
Talking about Distant, no, I mean, I really liked it. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm more of a death metal fan, but I heard a lot of like Latter Day Amorphis and then Latter Day Catatonia in there as well. I really liked it. I don't know if Catatonia or anybody like that's an influence, but it's certainly. I certainly liked it.
Believe it or not, no, actually, Catatonia. They're not on any of our real Spotify lists, but we've been compared to them lots.
Yeah.
So I think now with you saying Catatonia, I think it's about time I really go check those guys out, really. But we try and take a bit of a different approach than you know. There's a very, very specific sound that we're trying to hone in on, and we're getting there.
I think sometimes we're not even sure what it is.
Yeah, we're not even sure what it is sometimes. Yeah.
So you've kind of touched on this a wee bit already. So were the new songs written pretty quickly, or did you want to take your time with these songs? And how far on with the album are you ready to record then?
Wow. I suppose in general, in songwriting, because we all write together, we don't tend to work at home and then bring a whole song in. It's just not kind of how any of us are wired.
No.
So the songs, can take. I don't know.
Anything from a month to 6 months.
Yeah.
It literally could take that long because of the way that we do things. Everything that we do, when forming a song, it really is a generative effort between all three of us. Yeah. And then Matt as well, he's brilliant at helping us along the process. If we're overthinking it, Matt can tell us but we are, and we will then drop back and then go try and simplify it down.
Yeah.
Because we're bad at that at the moment. No. But yeah, no. Anything from a month to 6.
Yeah.
You know.
So do you think COVID's maybe helped then? Because rather than do things, you're stuck in the house, like you say, and just, I'll just pick up my guitar and write a couple of riffs here. So how are you communicating your ideas to each other then?
Well,
here in this room.
Here in
this room, like after a few of these, and you just it's hard to pinpoint how it actually happens, isn't it? Really?
I think in regards to like the COVID affecting things, one of these songs, or I guess 2 of the songs on the album, kind of come directly from almost not being able to rehearse. So, I mean, Lewis had a particular idea, which was a good, let's say 2 minutes, 3 minutes of an idea.
It was about 2.5.
And it really inspired, us once we finally got back to rehearsing again. And then we think it's turned out to be one of the best songs on the album. So it is this really weird blessing that, in a way, like it's a horrible thing, obviously, but we've been able to come up with something which we think would be so disappointed if it wasn't on the album.
Yeah. But it's like that was making the best out of a really bad situation, because that one's good enough too. And that one is actually now going to be the title of the title track. So, and we'll.
Give us a wee sneak
we'll hold off on that one. We'll hold off on that one just a little bit.
Thought I had an exclusive.
Yeah.
So where will the album be recorded, and who's going to produce it for you? So I take it you're sitting in your rehearsal space just now, but who are you going to record it and who's going to produce it for you? Do you have any ideas yet, or is it still up in the air?
Yeah. We are going down to a studio in Devon called Middle Farm Studios.
Okay.
And we're getting a guy called Peter Miles, who owns Middle Farm Studios, to record the drums. However, there's a really sad story behind this, really. Because we was going to take our guy, Owen, of Loud Noise Productions, and we now sit on the eve of, nearly coming up to the eve of going down to Devon, and he was regrettably informed that one of the bands that he was recording at the weekend has contracted COVID-19, and he's got to self-isolate for 14 days, and we're just kind of like dealing with the heartbreak of that, really. Like, because we were looking forward to going down with him, and so there's big shout out to Owen here. For being so awesome. He's still helping us out with everything
as
we speak, like literally. So but yeah, that's sad. But again, got to make the best out of the bad situation that COVID is, and looking forward to working with Peter. Definitely. It's that will be very interesting. He's got a good discography behind him of bands he's worked with. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Looking forward to going out to Devon for 4 days as well, mind you.
That's what I was going to say. It's a bit of a trek, but so it's going to be over 4 days. Do you think that'll be enough time? Especially years.
Yeah, well, we've all agreed that we're going to cut back on the old beer Rudies. So, but 4 days should be enough. You're very well rehearsed for the drum track.
So full on for ages now. So it's just like want to get it. It's so close now. We've put literally so many man hours through practicing, for getting the guide sorted. So much blood, sweat, and tears have gone into the process so far. It's like we just can't wait to get it done with, Frank. And like it's coming up now. It's just like, please, no national lockdown, Bojo, if you're listening.
We
can't afford that now.
That would be hard.
We've postponed it once. We just can't do it again.
Well, I mean, the start of this week was real. We were really biting our fingernails about lockdown, but then, as it turns out, life came and slapped us in the face in another way by taking our producer away from us. So it's hanging by the skin of its teeth, but we are going down. So.
Things happen for a reason, so there'll be a justified reason as to why it's turned out like this.
I do agree with that saying as well.
Good man. All right. So, has there been any label interest, or is this something that you guys are going to release on your own?
We'll probably see at the time. I think once it is recorded and done, we'll send it off and see if there is interest really.
Yeah.
I mean, as of yet, like there isn't any interest, but I can't really say we've like really seeked it out either.
Yeah.
Like I think the albums are our first chance to really show a body of work to parties that might be interested.
Yeah. Our first body of work in the consistent lineup that we have now. Because our lineup is solid now. So it's, as you said, it's really the first offering that we have to give. So we will send it out to people to see if they are interested in helping us.
Yeah.
So,
am I right in saying that you guys have played Bloodstock as well, the Hobgoblin stage? Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that was a fantastic experience. That was.
Yeah.
So
One of the best.
There's definitely a lot of pedigree there. It's not as if you're like an unknown band. So it just somebody to be at the right place at the right time to say, Netherhall.
Yeah. You never know. So that's it. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
So how are the songs constructed in the studio? So are they the main songwriters of the songs that take care of everything, or is Netherhall a band where all the members contribute to the songs?
Netherhall's a band where all of us, all of the songs come through all of us bouncing together. So
there's genuinely no one person. It's like we are literally because we've got such great chemistry. We've been doing this for like 5 years. We've been doing this longer than that. That's just this band. We've all been in like different bands together as well. But this has been going for 5 years, and we're lucky that we can just, the chemistry is there between us as musicians, that we can bounce so freely off each other. It can sound weird, but we do bounce off each other really well, like musically. And the idea is that they don't struggle to come to fruition. A lot of them do, don't get me wrong. We've been off so much, but then we sometimes fish you back out the bin and be like, are we at the point now where we can make this a thing? And then we go, nah, throw it back in the bin. But, we do work really well together, and we just chuffed to be in that situation.
Yeah. The majority of it literally comes up on the spot between when we're just jamming out ideas. And it comes to us in this room. So yeah.
What about the lyrics? Does the vocalist take care of all the lyrics, or do you guys all contribute to that as well?
Matt he's got great melodies and great lyrical ideas. So we kind of leave that to Matt. But at the end of the day, before we go into recording and finalising it, we do kind of make a collective effort to sit down and have a look at them and see if there's any bits that could be straightened out here and there. So yeah, I mean, but mostly it's Matt's job. That is, we like to leave it to him.
Yeah,
that must be quite a bit of a headache away from you guys, because it's certainly something that I couldn't do. So when constructing the new material, then, so with the band members having their own personal taste in music, how would you say you keep it all together? For example, when negotiating what stays in and what goes out of a song.
It's a good question.
That is a good question.
I suppose we all have such different influences. Like between us three here, our influences are so vast and different between. But we have a common goal amongst all of these, and there are similar bands that end up being the lead focus towards what we want to achieve as well. So we more lean towards a more agreed upon feel, rather than busting into AC/DC mid. There are little elements of everything that pour into it as well. But
like I suppose we don't like choose we don't choose a direction for a song to go in beforehand. So it's funny because we just do it off a feel really, and whether it ends up more one way or the other, it's almost like that's how it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So whether it's more ambient, like I know Pink Floyd, because I'm a massive Pink Floyd guy. Then that's great. But if it doesn't, then it's still great in many different ways.
Yeah. We all have an overall idea of the sound that we want to create as a band, and there's not really much of a negotiation process between us, because we're all on the same page. We know what we want to. Yeah. We know what we want to do. So, yeah.
I take it with the end result of the song, and you listen to it, and maybe you look at it as if you're in a shop or something like that, and you hear this tune, and you think, that's good enough, I'm going to buy that. So you must be in the studio once you've completed the song, you must ask yourself, would I buy that if I heard that for the first time? And if the answer is yes, then it's a keeper.
Absolutely. That's our whole kind of principle, isn't it? Really,
if we like it enough that we want to listen to it, if it wasn't us,
that's how we know.
Job well done.
Yeah, that's how we know. Yeah.
I was quite disappointed with your answer there, to be honest with you, because I was expecting fisticuffs in the studio and blood on the walls and everything.
No, we're really fortunate in that area, to be fair. No, there's really not a lot of
there's a good harmony.
There's a good harmony between us. Yeah.
Good stuff. So I haven't seen you guys for some time on social media then, so things seem to be more settled now on the band members front. So is it fair to say that this is the happiest that you've been in terms of the lineup with some of the original members in the current lineup? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. The only non-original member is our singer. We are the three original members, and we would hate it to be any other way. As well, so we are very happy with our current lineup. So our inactivity on social media is down to lack of things to share at the minute.
Times at the minute, it's hard to get people excited about anything at the minute. Like if it's a gig, you announce it gets cancelled the week after, and then people start to clue up to that pattern of things, and then they become less inclined to even care about it in the first place. So it's a really tough time for content.
Yeah.
But we've been slaving away at this anyway. This has been our main priority focus. So we just know we've got this in the barrel. So we're just working towards making this all it can be.
It'll be worth it. There's a lot of content to come from us. Exactly. The page will start to blow up in due course.
Yeah, well, certainly when it's ready, be sure to send it to us. We'll certainly review it. We'll certainly put it from our side. And I hope that this will be the last time that we have an interview. We'll certainly keep in touch and all the rest of it.
Yeah, brilliant, mate.
Definitely.
Going back to the lineup a wee bit, how easy or difficult was it to find, Matt? Was it quite straightforward, or were you looking for a vocalist for months and you had like half a dozen vocalists and it just didn't feel right? Or was Matt just walked in the door and that's it, he's in?
It was
a hard time.
Hard, yeah.
Hard.
We went about how long as an instrumental band? We went instrumental once we parted with our original singer. We were doing it instrumentally for probably about
7 months.
7 or 8 months. Yeah.
All of which time we just decided that we loved doing this so much that we weren't going to stop. Singer or no singer.
Yeah.
We enjoyed the music as is, because we were a big fan of instrumental music anyway. Yeah. So it was not a reach for us to carry on, but we was always looking for a singer all the while. And unfortunately, we got to play with a band called The Contortionist, which is one of the Surprise You're Dead shows. Shout out to them, because they're keeping us afloat.
They're keeping Birmingham afloat at the moment.
Yeah.
Surprise You're Dead are.
And Matt so happened to be in the attendance and the audience when we were playing with The Contortionist. He saw that we had an advert out for a singer, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
There you go. It's been downhill ever since, I know. No, it's been So we kind of touched on that a wee bit. So there'll unfortunately be no live shows in the near future then. So did you have big plans for the summer with gigs and maybe like festival appearances and stuff? And have you got maybe anything lined up for next year?
Yeah, we were absolutely devastated. We had a good year ahead of us. We did from March.
We had so much.
We just watched COVID-19 pick off every little show. Like it could possibly just watch them drop. Like by the end of it, you were just like, yeah, well there you go. That's we know what to expect here. We are awaiting announcement on a socially distant show.
Excellent.
So we know that we're going to be a part of that. We're just waiting for the details to be given to us. That should be with us in the next couple of days. So we'll put that one up as soon as we get the details. And in terms of next year, we don't really have any plans as of yet. I just think everything's so uncertain at the moment, you know. Yeah. And I think everybody's in the same boat here. So
that's exactly what I was going to say. The only fortunate thing you can take out of this is that every band's in the same situation as yourself, so you're not missing out on anything. It's just, you might feel just now that you're wasting your time thinking about booking anything. But when it does get over, punters are going to be spoiled for choice. They're going to be able to go to gigs every day of the week if they want to, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. I reckon that once all this is over, the live scene, there's going to be a renaissance, you know, of live music, and I will never take it for granted again. I'll never, because I've really felt the loss of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are things in Birmingham then? Like, are things okay with venues, or have one or two venues had to shut down, unfortunately? Are things okay with promoters and stuff like that, or?
It's been a bit sad, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's more sad news than it is anything else. I mean, I can't speak on behalf of some of the promoters, but I do know that there's a few dear friends of ours who are really, really struggling in this time, and you know, certainly, you know, the venues, it seems to be that the venues are on kind of the brink of, you know, that's where it is here. They're on the brink, so something like a tier 3 situation over here could really do some damage without the correct funding from the government. But that's the situation here. Yeah. We had a I think this is in contrast to a booming live scene, because we had a brilliant one before all of this struck.
Yeah.
And it's left a real void in the city at the moment, I feel. Yeah. Yeah, it has. Yeah.
So again, the way that you look at things, you look at the positive side of things. So has COVID made you look at the different sides of the business to the band, like the social media activity and the way that you market yourselves and stuff like that? Has it made you look into that kind of avenue of things, getting the band known, getting the band name out there?
Absolutely, it has. Yeah.
We're lucky as well, considering what you're saying about there's not really much shows you can do in public anymore. We were fortunate enough to be able to do a live stream show, which is part of where we are now. Rabanna's, they've got a separate studio at the top of the road as well, and that's where we shot our first music video, No Looking Down. And it's a great little big room. That's a great little big room, kind of. And we had such a full-on production with Birmingham live stream. Shout out to them, because they had such a massive production there. We were very fortunate to be able to do a really, really good quality live stream gig during all this craziness.
Chris Howell from Birmingham Streams carrying the fort on whilst all of this is going on. So shout out to him and all the guys at Birmingham Streams as well.
I mean, it's the same in Manchester as well. I mean, you've got like John Badger as well. I think I don't know, is it Academy that he uses or something like that? And again, it's just live performances, no concert, unfortunately, no. But it still gets the band name out there. It still shows everybody that they're still live and they're still going and they're still rehearsing, getting new songs out there. So it's kudos to you for getting that done. So well done.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
So it's funny how I just talked about Mr. Badger there. So I see you guys at Badgerfest in October next year. So you're looking forward to playing that gig?
Absolutely stoked to play that one.
We were gutted that it got cancelled for this year.
Yeah, we was.
When it all happened in end of March, I think we thought, be over by August or something like that. And so we could still play Badgerfest. We still play the other shows that we were booked in for, but fate didn't go that way.
I really, really admire John's optimism as well, because just as when everybody started to lose faith, he really, really kept the faith in there. He did, and you know, that was really admirable for him. We were just gutted to see it eventually have to get postponed. But no, we are very, very much looking forward to playing that one. We're alongside some great bands as well, aren't we? So yeah.
A lot of our mates from amongst the scene as well. It's quite a family show. Obviously
up in Manchester.
Oh yeah, in Manchester. John's literally put together a little storm there, so I totally appreciate his solidarity in trying to keep that afloat, because it's one booming lineup.
Yeah,
and we're chuffed to be on the Badgerfest, because he's been doing it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You see all these festivals come about, and you go, oh, I wonder how we go about getting on that, and then look so at it. I mean, of course, it would be this year, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's so typical.
We've been trying to get down for the last couple of years, but just things have happened. I actually bought a ticket for this year, so I was coming down this year. But hey, at least I can still next year. So, so how did you get to know John and get on the bill? Like, did he see you live and he just said, right, you guys have to play Badgerfest, or did you apply for it, or how did you get on it?
I can't remember which way around it was.
I can't remember which way. Did the guys at Fat Angel have something to do with it?
Might have,
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like we might have put ourselves forward. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it like last year, and I was like, that looks good.
Yeah.
How did we miss that one?
Yeah.
We kind of meet up with Fat Angel. We kind of just run through a lot of the things that we want to do, and obviously all the shows get brought up that we'd like to be a part of. And bear in mind, that's a massive scroll of, and obviously Badgerfest is one at the top of the list there. So I think that what probably happened is they just started going through the list. And fortunately enough, we got the message back to say that we could.
Excellent.
We could hop on that crazy lineup.
Yeah, it's certainly developing a bit of a reputation for itself. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. So, and I think you've got to look at the strength of the headliners as well. I mean, that's Raging Speedon back.
Yeah.
What headliners again?
Fetal Juice as well, and
yeah.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see Ramaging. I think they're absolutely incredible. They are.
Yeah.
You got our boys in Ash and Crown as well, a little bit further down the lineup. Borders are a brilliant band, and
loads.
Yeah, there's loads. Blood Oaks.
Yeah,
we played with Blood Oaks.
It's like a massive. It's a massive friend day. I love that.
All the friends.
Yeah, I'm interviewing Blood Oath next Tuesday, so I've got these guys next. So.
Oh yeah. Say hello to them for
Good stuff. So I may be showing my age a wee bit here, but before the internet, magazines and fanzines were the places to find out about new bands and trends. So now publications have been replaced with thousands of websites catering for all genres. So do you think that some of the passion's been lost, or do you think that the internet has been a good thing for music and a good thing for Netherhall?
I'd say yes. I'll say yes and no.
Yes and no. I think
everybody says this. Everybody says it's a double-edged sword.
It is definitely a double-barreled shotgun, because on one hand you've got the potentiality to reach a much wider amount of people. On the other hand, how do you do that in this day and age? Because there's so many artists and producers and brilliant artists and bands out there that you kind of get. It's like it's lost a value. My observation is from the internet, through streaming in specific. When I talk to my dad all the time about how it was for him as a kid, he always talks about how it was, going to the record store to buy the record. You look at the artwork; it's a physical thing. You've got it, and you can't wait to get back home and put it onto the LP player and sit there and really sink into it.
Yeah,
you've lost that now, because all you have to do is just pull the thing out of your pocket, press play, and there you are. Yeah. It's kind of lost its magic in a way. Yeah. But it's down. I think it's down to bands to put the magic back in there somehow. By trying to make it the best possible thing. Because the one thing that technology has given us is the chance to really, really enhance the sound, the overall sound and quality of records made.
Yeah,
that is one. Some of the bands blow me away with nowadays. Some of my influences, Carnival and Tesseract, to name a few. Their sonic spectrum is incredible. So it's a double. It's a win-lose. It's a good and a bad thing, but I still think we're still getting used to it in our day and age.
Yeah, I mean, I I think I'm sure, right? Like vinyl has outsold CDs for the first time in like donkey's years.
Yeah.
Like you say, everything's like a click of a button now. So for every time you click a button, there's 10,000 bands doing the same thing. It's just finding Joe in the crown. But I've also been speaking to a couple of guys that I've known since like 1990, and it was like sending a £1 note in an envelope and then waiting for the postman to send you a blank cassette back, and it was getting all that, and it was letters from the bands and all the rest of it, like snail mail, I think they call it.
Yeah.
But those were the days. But like you say, it's a double-edged sword. So what's next then for Netherhall?
What's next?
I guess it's the album.
It's literally well, as of Monday, we will start the process of recording the debut album.
How many songs?
There will be 9 songs overall.
Okay.
But anybody who's seen us live knows that our songs are long. So yeah, so there's a good chunk of music on there. Yeah.
Cool. It's a concept album.
Yeah, I'd probably say it is.
It is. And if you do rewatch the interview as well, once we've announced the name of it, you'll probably find that you did have your exclusive somewhere in there.
Well done. So, thankfully, we're only on the one webcam, so we do have a wee bit of time to talk about the instruments that you play within the band then. So, we'll start off with you, Tom, then. So what bass do you play with?
In general, I use a 5-string Sandberg bass built in Germany. Very, very, very nice quality.
So why 5-string then, and not just a typical 4-string? Are you just showing off, or?
I'm trying to catch up to the guitar player. No, what it was more of a I guess having like more control over dynamics at points. So sometimes you just need more oomph to something.
Yeah.
And I mean, the way I tune my bass, that extra string only gives me 3 extra notes. It's barely anything. but in small little places, it really does make the difference.
All right.
And I am showing up.
Have the other guys ever said to you, look, going to play 4 strings?
I've actually had that,
yeah. Brilliant, thanks very much. So what about Lewis? What guitar do you use and whatnot?
Yeah, I use my owner's Regis Fix. It was actually a custom build for somebody else. It was. Now it's in my possession. It's actually the one of its kind. It's the only guitar like that in the world. So I call it my signature because I just love it. And I play through.
You go to bed with it, don't you?
Yeah, I do, man. I literally do. No, in terms of amps, I love. It's either a Marshall JCM 800 or a PV50 150 Mark II. I'm trying to find a way where I can make my life even harder than it already is and use both at the same time. And then pedals wise, I've got, with me and you both have just a ridiculous amount of pedals. Yeah. Yeah, but no, me and Tom are proper gearheads. We always have been, haven't we?
Yeah. When it comes to guitar and bass, we love pedals and we like making stupid sounds. Yeah. We'll try and find somewhere in the song to put it.
Yeah.
So have you only got 6 strings then?
I've only got 6 strings, yeah.
You're not a show off then, like Tommy.
Nah, exactly. Nah. I'm more down to earth, I am.
You can look at that another way, Tom. He's not good enough to play 7 strings, so you can look at it that way as well.
We'll keep that between me and you.
But that is true, actually.
So
boggles my mind.
So you've got one of a kind guitar then. So what do you take on the road with you? Like, do you take a backup guitar as well?
Yeah. I take I've got a PRS CE24, which does me. That did me. I played that one at Bloodstock. I did. That was my main guitar for a while. did me great. But yeah, if I was to take anyone out on the road, I would take the Mayonnaise. Yeah, I'd take them both. I would.
I'm just wondering what you would do if a string broke during the gig or something like that, you know?
It's happened many times, hasn't it? And it's also happened when I haven't had my spare guitar. That's an awkward one, that is.
It ended up with me and Jake having a jam on stage, like a little space, bass and drums jam. But you know, it was fun, and we adapted to it, and we still finished off with a song at the end.
Shout out to Noel Crane from Orpheus for lending me his guitar. Hero.
Good stuff. So that's the end of the interview. Oh, sorry, Jake. I forgot about the drummer, as most bands do.
So I need to piss anyway.
What have you got then, Jake? What do you use?
I use a Tanner Superstar Hyperdrive. It's a 4-piece. The only way I really know that is because Portnoy basically endorses it, and I was watching a video and him like just nerding out, and I was like, that seems like a nice kit, and I actually got to play on that kit, funnily enough. I think it was during the Second City Fire, which is one of our first bands that I was in. Owen from Loud Noise, it's all coming back now. Owen from Loud Noise Productions had this kit in his studio, and I played it, and it was just like, you play it and you go, oh, I want that now. I need to play this kit because I just fell in love. So I got it, and it's been an absolute workhorse for many years, and I can honestly say I've made some good shit with it. So it's worth the money. And
so what about the snare sound? Are you happy with the snare sound, or did you have to go through a different?
The snare sound.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've got a Mapex Black Panther sat there. Snares are literally like how these guys feel with pedals.
Yeah.
It's how I imagine most drummers feel about the snares. So particular and so fussy, and you can tune them all day, and you can literally spend hours tuning it. And if you've got the right head, have you got the right snare wire, and there's so much variables to try and achieve the sound that you want from it. And it's just it's a pain in the ass, but once you get it, it's worth it. And I've kind of reached a point now where I've got like a nice. I'm pretty much where I want to be at. It's just I mean, that's probably going to change once this album's done anyway, so who knows? It's like, get used to it, and then you go, you want something else then.
I never knew that there was actually a technical side to playing the drums in the name of it.
Oh, yeah, that's serious,
Crash bang wallop.
Yeah. Just
so for those that are unaware of Netherhall, I would like to find out more about Netherhall, then where will we find you on social media then?
I reckon the two best ones are Facebook and Instagram, and then the two our most prominent kind of platforms. We kind of tend to focus on those two the most.
Social media terms, that is, but we are on Spotify and Apple Music and Google Play. If you wanna check out our stuff, as we've said, sometime in due course, there's going to be a lot more stuff available from us on those platforms in terms of the album.
So when do you think it'll be out? Will it be like the beginning of next year?
It'll probably be, if I was to put a rough estimate on it, it's going to be halfway through next year. It's really honing in on this one, make it as good as we possibly can.
So Distant, is that going to be on the album as well?
Say that again, sorry, Ricky.
Distant, is that going to be on the album as well?
It was, but we have decided not to put it on the album.
You've got better songs than Distant then?
Yes, we feel so. So, yeah.
Well, if I like Distant, then, I look forward to hearing what you guys are going to release next then. Good.
Thank you very much. Cheers, cheers, man. We're looking forward to releasing it. We'll send it right over here.
Yeah, like I said, us at Moshville Times will do a bit to promote it for you guys. So, but listen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. So I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope things go down well in Devon. It comes out the way that you want it to, and everything's going to be ship shape for whenever the album is going to be released. But certainly looking forward to it. But once again, it's been an absolute pleasure. Cheers, guys.
Pleasure, man. Ricky, thank you very much, mate. Nice one.